Dimitar. Okay. Let's see. Oh, time for a Scandinavian. He takes. Well, it'll be interesting to try this against a highly rated player. See how he plays it. He plays the normal move. Kicks the knight. Yeah, I'm trying to decide whether to go to the queen side or the king side. If I go to the queen side, I suppose the idea is to fianchetto my bishop. He can kick the knight again, it just goes right back. Let's try that. I often play with my knight back to the king side, so let's try something different this time. If he pushes the d-pawn forward, I might want to go c6, but probably I will get my bishop out first. He just defends it there and holds on to the center, which makes a lot of sense. So I can bring a knight out and put more pressure on the center. Pushes forward, the knight can hop here. But let's get castled first. This is kind of an interesting position. If I can get away with not pushing these pawns, then both my bishops have good diagonals. I just have to find a way to reallocate this knight. So yeah, I'm encouraging him to play d5. And my knight, I'm thinking, will hop to e5, supported by my bishop. And let's see if there's a flaw with this scheme. I mean, the knight can always escape from here by taking on f6 with check. And then this knight now has a path to swing over to the king side. Get the knight over here, and then I can look to undermine the center. Or I could play for c6 immediately to undermine the center now. Interesting position. I am also threatening. He decided to take. Yeah, I was threatening the c pawn. It was attacked twice and only defended once. Let's see, if I play c6, he might ignore it for a moment and push with c5 first, force me to move my knight. But then I could take c6, c5, knight takes d5, knight takes, queen takes, pawn takes. I'd like reduce all the material. But it would be a decent structure for me, and I would have okay development as well. So what else would he do? Instead of, he does that first. Yeah, I probably want to just drop my bishop back. It's not doing a whole lot here. I mean, I could move my rook, but I don't like leaving his bishop in this position. So if I drop it back, he takes, I take. He gets a queen check here. And I'll just drop back again. And I still have the idea of playing c6. So, as I was saying, if I play c6 and he doesn't push like that, then his other option is to take. I take back with a pawn. I've got a bit of a ragged pawn structure over here and an extra pawn in the center then. So it might be a decent trade-off. So I should do it now. It's kind of now or never, because if I don't do it now, he is going to play rook here and make it very difficult for me to do it. Yeah, so he does play the rook there. Let's see how he plans to take here. With the rook already in place, I thought maybe he had the idea of... so this is interesting. He can move with check. So if I keep taking, I don't know if he'll take with the pawn or the queen. Maybe he's going to just keep taking with his pieces. So knight takes, queen takes, rook takes. And then I can take this pawn over here. Oh, only giving up the exchange. Also, after queen takes, I can take his bishop. His bishop is hanging. Okay, so what that means is he'll probably throw in bishop takes here. Yep. And then do I have anything really clever here? I guess not. I don't see anything clever. Knight to e3 I was looking at briefly, but that probably just loses my queen. So he gets the piece back. It's not like I'm... this piece is actually kind of pinned here. I can't move it without losing the queen, unless I move it with check. Or, well, I guess I won't lose a whole queen. I'll lose a rook, right? Knight's not there. Queen takes queen, rook takes rook, rook takes rook. Yeah. So he did take with the queen. I'm surprised. So this is very forcing. But I could step aside with the queen. Or I could play bishop to... no, that's not good. If I play bishop to e6, he can actually take the pawn on b2 and then b7, and the rook will be hitting my queen. If I step aside with the queen... yeah, let's keep the queens on for the moment. And then I can develop my bishop. He can always play the check. I'll just drop back. I see. You can play the check, I drop back, and then he takes my e-pawn. Well, I'll develop my bishop anyway and bring my rook over to harass his queen. We'll see if I get enough play out of that. Or if I don't want to sacrifice the pawn, let's see, he gives a check, I bring the queen over, and then I'm defending the pawn. And if he takes my queen, I'll take back. So he just defended. Okay, let's develop my bishop as intended. This queen's not in much danger because he can always move it to e5 with check. He can also check from d4 to force an exchange, because I probably don't want to let him take here and give me doubled pawns over here. Although maybe that's playable. Anyway, next move is to bring a rook to the center. Yep, so he goes for the check. Gets his queen out of trouble. Maybe I'll pile up on some of these pawns here. Okay, so he goes for domination of the d file, but I can challenge it. My queen and my two rooks are all pointing at that square. And I should. I can't really let him keep control of the file like that. Okay, let's take one rook off. So he's attacking here, and he left this hanging. This would turn into a very symmetric position if I grabbed this pawn. And he grabbed this one. He could take the e-pawn if I take his c-pawn. But his queen would be in a good spot, so I don't think I want to go for that. I'm not really playing for a draw here either. I'm just trying to find the best move. Let's go this way. I'll just take this with the rook. No, I won't, because, well, my queen is guarding this square. It's a bit dangerous. Rook to the back rank could be mate, because his queen is covering the dark squares here. Let's see. So should I? I think I should. Let's just kick the queen off of that diagonal. My queen is defending my bishop. So I was thinking that, yeah, I would lift up my rook in a case like this. He has a check on the back. Yeah, he does have the check. After I lift the rook, he has a check on the back rank. And I can play king up. Yeah, I don't know if I like that. Here's another idea. I play rook here. He takes my rook, I take back. If he takes the bishop or the pawn... No, I don't have a checkmate. I was looking at that back rank and it looks like a checkmate. Yeah, let's see if I can sneak in with my queen somehow, though. So he takes my bishop, I will take his rook, he will take my rook, and then I will checkmate. Doesn't work because my bishop goes with check. Yeah, that was a bad mistake. So if he takes the rook, I'll take his rook and I might still be okay. But he can save his rook, or he can continue to check me by taking on taking on e7 there. So yeah, he's trying to find the best way to continue. Yeah, the queen is still guarding the mating square there, sadly. Still, I don't know if that was the most effective way of handling things. Okay, let's defend here. Ah, my queen was defending this pawn, so we didn't have queen takes e7. I want to get my queen into c3. Ah, he gave himself an escape square. So let's see. The rook is defended. The queen doesn't need a defense at the moment, and the bishop is defended. So I can maybe try and do some checks here. I guess I'll keep an eye on this pawn for one more move. Ah, he's going to mate me here. I have a check. Let's go ahead and play that first, and then I'll see what I can do. Queen, oh, it's not a mate, but queen f7 would win the rook. And maybe there is a mate there too, but anyway, at least it would win the rook. So yeah, I can get the queens off, but unfortunately I'm in bad shape after that. Queen here check, queen takes, pawn takes. And then he has an extra piece he starts mopping up. I mean, he's had that extra piece all along. Is there any other way to do this? Well, any slow move allows queen f7 check. And if I bring the rook over to defend f7, then he takes on e7. I'm going to play a couple more moves and then resign. I think I just want to see what this looks like in case there's something here. But probably he's just going to take a pawn. And yeah, and I don't see a way to continue the fight. Actually, this bishop here is doing a good job of keeping me shut out of the game. Well, I can step up to, I was thinking, I could push this pawn to push the bishop back, so I could step up, but he'll just grab more pawns. Yeah, I think I'm going to resign. So good game. We'll check this out in the postmortem, and I'll see you guys later. Bye.